No. I would assume something really bad.
Fire?
No, I do not.
I do not know.
That's when there's no ambulances.
A code red is basically when there's not enough ambulances to respond to the amount of calls coming in. And this is across the board everywhere, especially in Calgary, it's really bad.
So code red is pretty much like not having any ambulances or like professionals to like actually respond to a call. And then surge is what happens when a hospital doesn't have resources to take in people coming in from the ambulances.
I think from like the paramedics' point of view, we're really kind of just transport. We make sure that you're like good enough to move, and then we move you to the hospital. But when we're there, if our patient doesn't have a bed ready or they cannot see the doctor first thing, we sit there for like however many hours until they can see a patient, until we can hand over that care. Because there can be like 4 or 5 ambulances sitting there with a patient waiting to see a doctor, and they can't leave that patient. There's no nurses to take over, and they'll finish their paperwork, and then they're just kind of sitting there while other people are needing their help.
When we look at our ambulance crisis, there's many reasons for that. One is we've got many more people in hospital with respiratory illness, COVID, and other respiratory illnesses. Then we've got more people now in hospital that have diseases that would have been dealt with, but they didn't get dealt with during the pandemic. So now they're more advanced, sicker, need more care. And so all of those things fill up the hospital. And so in the emergency department, a patient is seen and needs to be admitted, but there's no place to put them. So the ambulance comes in, that patient can't get into a bed in the emergency department to be assessed because it's full of a patient waiting to go into the hospital. So it's all backlogged. And the skills of the paramedics before that patient is taken in are actually really important. And so we have all this series of problems, which means that not just in the hospital, but now we need more paramedics. They're getting burned out. It's been very hectic for them. And we don't have people to backfill. We don't have people to fill in. One of the drivers of that is that we're just not training enough people. And this is the same in nursing and the same as far as paramedics and occupational therapists, et cetera, is that we have these limits on how many people can get into training programs. And the limits are because of funding, not only funding the infrastructure around a spot, because you need teachers. We need to fund the academic people in those positions so that we have enough individuals to train more physicians and nurses, et cetera. And so since 2010, the population of Alberta has grown by about 20%, but we didn't have any more training positions. So we're still cranking out the same number when we already had deficits. What can we do to change the system and fix our problems? One of them is we need to invest in training people. So that's got to be a very, very high priority. We have to engage with the different health professions themselves because there's lots of good ideas that are based on experience and knowledge that we need to have discussions around how we can incorporate those ideas into helping. And we need to invest in primary care.
It's difficult, but like I feel very motivated seeing like, oh, this is like what we can do and this is how we can help, and it gives me motivation to like actually go through like all my studies. If I stay in paramedicine, I can advocate for like improvements and like how the workers are being treated, because like especially after COVID, there's a lot of burnout. So definitely something I wish and I hope to get better.
Personally, because of this, it makes me want to go like try harder and be the best I can be for those people that I can see, because there's just so few people out there actually being able to help these people.